Can we have another round of hands?
No, like raise your voice. That volume.
Okay, what is the mic?
No, it's not. Oh, Kagalo Twisafo.
So a lot of the problems that we see, that I've also heard from the students that have spoken now and that we've seen in our company, we get a lot of emails from students that can't get jobs and so forth. Is a lack of communication to the students when they start out in university and when they, as they ask, are there any alternatives? Is there not a clear-cut kind of job that we can do? So I was wondering whether maybe the NSTF might be a good vehicle for this kind of communication. Maybe to form some kind of a portal online where the landscape of employers and companies that are working in science can register just to show what kind of companies are working in the sector, what kind of jobs are available, where the students can also log on, and so that the companies on the other hand can have an idea of what the landscape of students studying in a specific sector looks like. So I just think there's a lack of clear communication to the students. I was also in the same position in a genetics degree. I just saw the academic line going forward, continuing with masters, then PhD, then postdoc, and then what. So I'm just suggesting that maybe the NSTF, I know they have on their website links to bursaries and things like that, but maybe they can also include links to career opportunities and what kind of things scientists, undergrads, who will become postgrads need in order to become employable and where they can start looking for opportunities and what skills they still need to acquire. Just as a suggestion.
Thank you. It's not a question on my side. I think I'm going to add some points on what has been touched before, based on the questions that were raised by the group of students in front here. I think the first point they mentioned was the employability of PhD and master students. The second part was the funding, project funding. And the third one was the entrepreneurship. So if I'm touching first the first part, the PhD employability, first of all, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lubabaro Mafu. I'm from TIA, Technology Innovation Agency. PhD employability. Okay, let me first make this comment. I don't mean to offend you guys. When you are at your master's level or PhD level, we look at you in a different way. You are unlike someone who just completed a junior degree. You can bring something new on the table. If you still have a mindset of looking for a job but not creating one, then I say you need to really evaluate your PhD. Now, employability, as Ms. Ndoni mentioned before, if you have a technical skills and you are lacking experience and you want to grow on a corporate, you need to supplement your technical skills by learning other skills that will market you. That is the first part. Now let's move to project funding. I think in this part, I think the research capacity development of universities is failing students because the focus is on researchers, which is lecturers. Lecturers, they do get money from TIA, a lot of money for their research, but they are failing to communicate the information to students. Hence, students, they don't know anything about TIA. There are so many opportunities from TIA for people who want to start businesses. I mean funding. First of all, what I would say, you need to understand as a person, what do you want? Do you want to work? Do you want to start a company? If you want to start a company, now take that initiative. Look for funds. TIA, they have plenty of funds, different disciplines. If you want information on TIA, I can supplement that information before I leave. Now, we've got different funds, your seed fund, rapid response fund. There are plenty of funds, guys, that you can apply for if you want to be a starter. Entrepreneurship, where I come from, I'm based in Durban. We incubate people who don't even know what they are doing. Can you imagine? We give them money. But we have people like you at universities who've got research, people who've got novel ideas. What you are doing, you are writing your ideas on paper and you are selling them away. If you haven't done that, you write theses, you pile them in libraries. You don't think about commercializing them. But if you can't think that way, who's going to think for you? Your lecturers, your supervisors are making a lot of money from NRF and TIA, but they are not making you aware of that. I challenge you today, go seek for these answers that I'm going to tell you. We talk of TIA, Invotech, how many? Your DTI, there are plenty of funders that are distributing money for research in South Africa. And hence you are not taking advantage of that. If you go to universities, you will find tech stations, more especially for people who are more on technical background. Tech stations are positioned at universities. Why don't you go to those offices and ask those people, what are you doing, guys? Maybe your ideas might come around and you first think what I can do that will be in line with this. Or if I've got this idea, who do you know that can assist me to do this kind of work? All over the country, we've got tech stations, we've got platforms that are meant to incubate people who have received or not received funds from TIA and other funding agents. So your projects that you're doing at universities, yes, universities, if you publish, they only do wrote a patent on your project. They might want a certain portion of your IP. But if you want to go alone to your project, then register a company. Approach the university as a company to say, I want to do this project under the university, but under this company, not as a student. Then you source funds for your company, and you go back. I will just make an example of someone that I have assisted. One lady came to us. She came to do this hair, formulation treatment. Then we assisted her. While she was there, she saw an opportunity to apply for funds at TIA. I assisted the lady, and she managed to secure 800,000. What I said, for what she was looking for, I told her, we don't have the facility to support you on this one. But I know of someone in Cape Town that specializes exactly on what you want to do. I suggest take this money, go to Cape Town and do this research. She's enrolled for her PhD studies on formulation chemistry. But if I can tell you, the product now that she's been researching, that is currently researching, they are produced by Sweets Kamad here in Pretoria. She's going to be selling to clicks. You're going to buy her products there. Are people who've got idea of what they want to do. Then if you need that information, go out there, challenge yourself, look for that information, and live your dream. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for those pearls of wisdom. In jealousy of time, I'm going to ask the next questionnaires to be short. We have a presentation that a lady is live streaming with us from the UK, so it is imperative that we are on time. The third question, or comment or suggestion?
I agree with the previous comments on entrepreneurship, but I also think it's time that the research community here in South Africa maybe look at a different paradigm. Are we producing too many PhDs for the market? Because not everybody is interested in entrepreneurship. And I also disagree at the NRF with the age limit, because oftentimes some of the best students that have the best ideas and want to come back and study and be productive are people that have actually been out in the workforce and they have an idea what they want to do and they're committed, rather than somebody that's maybe fumbling with an idea that's given to their supervisors. And in light of that, one other suggestion is there's a huge pressure on academics to take large number of students. Rather than taking quantity, we should really focus on quality. And again, not spreading ourselves too thin, but actually giving that mentorship that is so important. I know many students complain about the fact that they don't hear from their supervisors for 6 months. And the supervisors need to have some type of minimum standards and criteria in order to be a supervisor. It shouldn't just be something that comes with a post. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the first statement that I would just like to make is I am, for starters, I'm Anita Engelbrecht from the South African National Space Agency. I'm not a researcher, so I'm a human resources manager for the Space Agency in Hermanus in the Western Cape. So the first statement that I would like to make is on Ms. Mcunu's thing where she mentioned that if you've got a BSc, don't just write that you've got a BSc. For starters, on a CV, take off your photograph, except they ask you for the photograph because you don't want to be judged before they've even looked at your CV. The second thing is on your CV, if you've done things like with us at the Space Agency, we give our students the opportunity, because we've got an on-site residence, so we've got students, although we're not a university, we give them the opportunity to do science outreach work. And all of those kind of things you put on your CV, because if I've sat with 2 CVs in front of me, and the only difference is that this person has written their one line, or answered the phone in reception, and the other CV doesn't have that, that might make the difference, because the person who answered the reception's telephone has had to deal with conflict, has had to deal with different kinds of people, has had to have the public speaking capabilities that other people might not have. The next thing is a question that I've got to Mr. Mutangwa. From a research environment that I come from is that you made the statement that you've got to start with end user research. What about your blue sky research? Is there still a place for it in South Africa, or is everything supposed to be applied sciences nowadays? Thanks.
Can we have the last question, and then we will wrap up the question session, or rather the discussion panel?
Thank you. I'm Naledi. I'm from TUT. It's not a question, it's a comment actually. I'd like to applaud our 2 speakers. They make postgraduate studies to be more vibey, more lively, more vibrant. And then I wish that we can have more platforms to discuss in that angle, and also have such programs also be expanded for more postgraduate students. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that comment. We only have one question, so I will allow you to answer that one.
No, thank you so much. I'm going to be very quick about this one. So there is space for basic research, but it must be informed by, because you do basic, so when you are doing applied research, you use the output from the basic research to do applied research while you are sort of testing it on a real life thing, right? So with the approach that we've sort of seen in different areas in the world that we've traveled to, we've realized that the gaps in the basic research are informed by what's missing when people are basically doing applied research. So it's people who are doing applied research who then say there are these gaps, and then those gaps are then filled by those who are interested in doing basic research. So it's still not basic research from a point of view of, from paper or, research questions from nowhere just because you are interested in a particular space, but it is done or conducted with the idea of the research output feeding into the applied research at the end of the day. So these 2 must speak to each other. Thank you.
To Ms. Ndoni and Mr. Mutangwa, thank you so much for taking the time to bless us with those pearls of wisdom. There's so many, I think what we forget as scientists is to also remember that with our science, if we don't communicate it to anyone else, it just ends there. Or maybe to even reinvent, to see how best to implement most of these things that we've learned at school, to take it out and make sure that we are coming out across as best researchers in our field. Thank you for taking the time. from a young professional as well. I would like to say thank you very much, and please do accept our gifts of gratitude. Now, please give them a huge round of applause.